Welcome back. Today I have that Esper control list I told you I had. I haven't made a video in quite a while, even though I've been trying to. This one I ran last night at F&M and went 3-0 in the first tournament. And starting up here at the top, there are 4 Sphinx's Revelations. Here. This card's really good in being able to regain life and getting a bunch of card advantage, especially against aggressive decks, so you can sort of take over the game with drawing a bunch more removal spells or gaining a bunch of life, giving you a few extra turns, and causing them to work a little bit harder, and allowing you to get further into your late game. More draw spells, Forbidden Alchemy. Most decks are just running the 3 Think Twice. I have 1 Forbidden Alchemy and 2 Think Twice. I like Forbidden Alchemy because it allows you to pick a card out of the top 4. Also with the Tamuel, you get all 4, which is pretty cool value. But with Snapcaster, you can recur any of the instant sorceries you put in there. Great way to find the land card. Think Twice, really good draw spell. Draw a card and then splash back. Not much else to ask for there. We have 3 Zori's Charms. A lot of people are running 4. I took out 1 and 1 far and away for Doom Blades, but 3 Zori's Charms, a lot of times you have like 4 in you have a lot in your hand, and there's not much necessary, and sometimes you just rather have this kill spell here. Doom Blade, coming out of M14, is going to be in this deck. It's a pretty great removal spell in the format right now. Better than Ultimate Price, because all the black creatures, good black creatures, are usually multicolored as well, so this will kill more stuff. Far and Away, awesome removal spell that Esper has access to. Using it as a 2-for-1, or you can make some a sack. It's really good against Banned Hexproof, or against token decks. It's got some pretty decent value to it. Cyclonic Rift, also really good against Hexproof decks, Super Friends decks that run a lot of permanents, creatures, great against tokens. Moving into our counter spells, which are down here, there's 2 Dissipates and 2 Syncopates. The reason because Syncopate is a lot better on the draw than where Dissipate's better on the play. Because by the time you get to that turn 3, this is going to be able to play, but when you're on the draw, this will be active on turn 2, and if you're on the play, the turn 2 that you would have here is turn 3 instead, because you have 3 mana. So this is better on the draw, on the play, and this is better on the draw. Moving into our mash removal spell, instead of Supreme Verdict, we are running Terminus. Terminus is a great removal spell against every deck. Good against zombies, good against aristocrats, good against basically everything. Putting them on the bottom, it's pretty good. It's good against voice, just doesn't kill it. Just get a lot of good value out of that card, especially if you can miracle it. Even if you can't, it's still really good. Now, if you snapcast it, your snapcaster goes on the bottom, so you have a chance to draw it again. There's no real shuffle effects except this card. So, moving on to the creature base of the deck, there are 4 snapcasters. This card's really good, being able to make all of our spells go again. You have extra copies of counter spells, Sphinx's Revelation, not that it's super necessary. Azuri's Charm, Doom Blade is a good one. Far and Away, and when we get to the sideboard, Appetite for Brains is pretty sick. Snapcast that back. And 1 Restoration Angel, this is good at blocking a bunch of stuff. We can also blink our Snapcaster Mages. Really good against blocking beast tokens, Flinthawk Boars, a lot of the big 3/3s, 2/2s, a lot of the strong cards, the biggest creatures like 3/3s and stuff, strong against those and being able to just eat them. Moving to our land base, we have 26 land. There's 1 Cavern. Now this seems a little odd since there's no, why would you run it for a Snapcaster Mage? Well, in game 1 you can name Snapcaster Mage, or Angel, not that that's a huge deal, but when we get to the sideboard it's really good for being able to play some of the 3 creatures we have, which could be like Aetherwing, Council of the Absolute, or Evil Twin, because Aetherling and Evil Twin both are shapeshifters. This is good for being able to bring in like an Aetherling. We have one island. This is supposed to be a watery grave, but I only own 2 watery graves, and the island sort of acts the same as a watery grave. The only thing it doesn't let untap is this card, which isn't terrible, because if you have this in an island, you just lead off with this card. And you're usually going to lead off with a white source anyway because of Terminus, so the island's not terrible. Maybe better as a watery grave, but when we get one, we'll figure out which one's the best land combination there. 4 Drowned Catacombs, 4 Glacial Fortress, 4 Isolated Chapels. This is just a well-rounded out, adding your mana base. We have 2 Watery Graves, 3 Godless Shrines, 4 Hollow Fountains. Hollow Fountains are our biggest friend here because there's not a lot of black in the deck. It's a lot of blue and white. So this is our favorite one. There's also a lot of white, as I said. So this is supposed to be 4 of. Working my way to get all 4 of them. But Watery Grave, also one of the big ones, because blue is big in the deck. And black's pretty important. White's also important, so that's our Shockland and non-basic land package. We have 3 Drown Yards. A lot of decks are running 4. I don't like 4 personally. Just feel like I keep drawing them, and I'd rather draw like a Hallowed Fountain or something with a colored mana source to it. Because 3 Drown Yards is still pretty lethal. 4 Drown Yards is 3 Drown Yards is 12 lands. 4 Drown Yards requires 16 lands. So 3 and 4 in my mind doesn't make a huge difference in certain board states unless you do have 16 lands. Which in that case then 4 would be better, but not a super huge deal. We will be right back to the sideboard.